Again, reading of the Divine Iliad. Again. He who desireth peace on earth must find it in heaven. Therefore I say, he who desireth aught through me shall have his desire throughout eternity. For it shall be written in his recording soul in lines of light. But he who gaineth riches of earth alone will lack of me in them, writeth black lines upon his eternal soul, which he must whiten during long ages of undoing. For I say there are two opposed ways in the journey of man from his jungle to his mountain top. One leads backward to the blackness of his primal jungle. The other way leads to me. Man may choose his way, for man's purpose in manifesting me is to find his way out of the dark to light of me throughout long ages of new knowing through repeating action. He who walks toward the light through right action writes new lines of light upon his soul. But he who walks toward the dark takes on the dark, and no light is there in him. Hear thou me when I say that man writes his own record of his thinking and his acting in his own immortal soul, and that which man writes there will be repeated in the patterned seed of the reborning of that man unto eternity. Some far day he will come to me to find rest, but until that day of knowing me in him, he shall walk the treadmill of earth unceasingly. There are those among men of earth who deem desire unholy. These seek holiness and me through the suppression of all desires. These sit in a quietude, seeking me through meditation, but acting not to manifest my purpose. Yet these ask alms in my name of those who fulfill my purpose through thought followed by action. I command thee to tell to these misguided holy men, who sell their holiness for a price, to those who unknowingly buy naught of holiness for their wasted gold, that they who thus sit begging by the road in mortifying rags shall never find me whom they seek until they act to fulfill my purpose. Tell thou them that they are as unclean in thy father-mother's eyes as the stench of them is unwholesome to men of earth. Said I not these very words in the beginning of thy full knowing me in thee? Desire is of the soul being record of desire fulfilled by action, for repeating its pattern in the seed. And also said I not to thee, my creating universe is the continuing record of my eternal thinking, followed by action, to record the pattern-imaged forms of my thinking. And again have I not said, my sole desire is to think for the purpose of expressing the one ideal of my thinking through imaged forms of my imagining engaged in purposeful action. And also have I not said, my cosmos of the divided lights of my thinking, which is recorded by the making of my earths and heavens, and all my children of the earths and heavens, all made in my image, is my body, centered by the light of me, created by desire in me, to manifest desire in me. Hear thou me when I again say that my recorded universe is purposeful. It is ideal expressed through action. It is not just ideal in thought alone, being never writ through the interaction of the interweaving lights of my thinking. Wherefore say I there would be no universe were my thinking not recorded by the action of my extended lights of desire in me. If these useless beggars by the road think themselves holy for the suppression of desire to fulfill my purpose by actions which fulfill my purpose, then am I their one God unholy for desiring them to fulfill my purpose. Again, And yet again shalt thou, my messenger, write down these my words, and say them unto all men. Desire ye what you will, and behold, it standeth before thee. Throughout the eons it has been thine, without thy knowing, even though thou hast but just asked for it. Sit thou not and ask, acting not, for unless thou reach out for thy desire, it shall not walk thy way to thee, unaided by the strong arms. Behold, I am within all things, centering them, and I am without all things, controlling them. But I am not those things which I center and control. I am the center of my universe, of me. Everywhere I am is the center of all things, and I am everywhere. And that is the end of the word that he was given. The next part of this is the Book of Rest. And this is Walter Russell's prayer once again. A communion. I am in the light. I know the light. I am in the spirit. The doors of dimension have closed upon my body and shown me to be a living light, shining out of the darkness. I know the source of things beyond the extensions of things. I am one with the essence of things beyond the motion of things. I know my oneness with the One. God abideth in me. I know that I am He. I know God's kingdom of the light. I know my universality. The consciousness of space is mine. The light of God's equilibrium is my guide. I know its balance, unextended, undivided. Out of its essence comes the word and the law to counsel me. The language of light is mine to know. All that is light. Thou, my Father, Mother, hast commanded that I write down in words for man the meaning within thy light, which is written upon my heart in waves of thy inspired essence of meaning, which I must interpret into man's words. Guide thou me, thou source of me, as I write words which shall be truly thine, not mine alone, nor even thine and mine. And that was the end of that prayer. And then the response from God was the Word. And I will read part of this before my 10 minutes is up. Number 1, well, I'm not going to read the numbers. But I am the knower of the known. I am the sexless knower of the known. In me is the consciousness of all knowing, and that is my power. In me, the unconditioned one is the whole. There are no parts, nor are there beginnings, nor endings in me, the one conscious whole. I am the dual thinker of unfolding parts of the known, the imager of imaged forms which emerge from my knowing, through my thinking, to manifest my knowing. My dual thinking divides my knowing light into pairs of sex-divided mirrors of the two opposed lights of my thinking. These electric mirrors of divided light reflect my light and life in them, for manifesting my knowing and the one life of my being. Forever and forever they interchange the dual reflected lights of my thinking, for manifesting the continuance of my thinking. Yet they are not my light, nor are they my life, nor are they my being. I, my all-conscious being, alone live, and I alone think. Again I say, all thinking is my thinking. Also, I say when man thinks at all, he thinks with me as one, imagines with me as one, and builds his images with me as one. And when man is inspired by exalted thinking, know thou that it is I in him, who am thinking as one with him. For I am the source of ecstasy and inspiration in man. Behold in me the silent voice, which man may hear, who hath inner ears to hear.